Hey, it's Pigeon Bricks, and today I'll be looking at the Imperial Probe Droid from LEGO Star Wars 2021. Looking at the box of the set, this set of course is marked at 18 plus, is set number 75306, and comes with 683 pieces. The box of the set of course comes in this fully black look, which I really like for these 18 plus LEGO Star Wars sets. The back of the box has some measurements of the set right there, and of course also features some pictures of the Probe Droid where it's featured in the actual movie. The instruction manual of the set has a bunch of information about the Probe Droid right here. You can pause the video if you want to read that right now. Another picture of the Probe Droid. And other than that, the pages are the lighter design as opposed to the darker design, which I personally prefer. But with that being said, let's get into the set. And here it is, the LEGO Star Wars 2021 Buildable Figure Probe Droid. So first off, I think the main question that people are asking themselves is, why is this Probe Droid gray and not black? Because in the movies, it sure seems black and not gray, right? Well, I think opinions can definitely be split on that. I think some people might see it to be more gray, some people might see it as more black in the movies, but I personally think that this option here in the gray looks a little bit better, and especially in LEGO form, in this bigger buildable figure form, actually it was the right move to make, since I think if it were all black, maybe it would have lost some of its details, which it has a lot of. But the other question that people might be asking is why there isn't a minifigure included. Well, technically it wouldn't really be a minifigure because the figures, the smaller figures for this Probe Droid that have been out in other sets before have been buildable figures on their own already. So I guess it would have, well, not really made sense to add a buildable figure to a buildable figure set. But still, I think it would have been nice to just add a little figure right there to kind of coincide with all of the other buildable figures that we have gotten for LEGO Star Wars. But otherwise, I think this set does make quite a bit of sense. What I really like is this stand here, which is the first time ever we are getting a piece of scenery in the stand for the buildable figure. I think that is really, really good looking. It looks really detailed with a bunch of these rocks here and there as well, and even some snow overlapping on top of that display plaque there with all of the details of the droid on there. Other than that, the Probe Droid has a spinning head, which can definitely spin 360 degrees to just unveil all of its different sensors and kind of like robot eyes, if you will. I think it really looks good. Like, the head of the set is probably the highlight of the set for me. Also with those two antennas on the top there and two stickers on top too. There are also some stickers on the body of the set, one over here and one on the other side of the set. There is one little glowing kind of part here. It doesn't actually glow, obviously, but yeah. And on the other side, that same kind of construction does not have that translucent piece. The body of the set looks rather detailed too, maybe not quite as detailed as the head of the set, but that's probably just because there's not as much going on there. But yeah, it has two stickers, as mentioned, and a bunch of just detailed pieces. I think the only really complaint I have about the body of the set is maybe those gaps between all of those pieces there, but other than that, it looks really nice and sleek, especially at the top with those big tiled off pieces. So yeah, the body and the head of the set do look very nice in my opinion. But now, moving on to the legs of the set is where I have some complaints. So what do I not like about the legs of the set? Well, I think these like arms and legs are just too flimsy. Even for a LEGO set, they're just not stable enough, especially these smaller ones, which they do have a bunch of posability and range of motion, which I find quite nice. However, if you just pull on them just a tiny bit, they will come apart. So that is very annoying, and they're just too easy to move around. These bigger ones are less easy to move around, but also they don't really stay in place. And look at that, it just fell off just like that. And yeah, that's kind of my complaint about the legs of the set there. They're just too flimsy and annoying to deal with. However, as I said, they do have quite a bit of range of motion in all of those joints, so that is kind of a plus there. And yeah, there's also some legs with these little clamps here that you can move around, which do look rather nice. And looking at the back, the hands also have some nice hydraulic pieces, especially here, this longer one, which look really nice and just really fit the robotic theme. However, as I said, it just still stands that they're way too flimsy. I really think LEGO should have made some sort of better system for these because these are just not okay. At the front of the set, we also have one of the legs, which has kind of a play feature other than just the movement, which is this little drill here, which you can, I guess, kind of play around with. But of course, this is a display set, and in the building experience as well, it was quite just kind of boring and not very interesting to build all those intricate leg and arm pieces since they were so flimsy. And yeah, that's just my main complaint about this set. It looks pretty good overall, but still, just the flimsiness of those arms and legs really puts me off. One other little thing of note, by the way, is that the set comes after you've built it and finished the build with a bunch of these robotic tiny little pieces, some of these like saw pieces and just like triple kind of joint pieces, and I really don't know what these are for. They just come with the set and they're not really used in the build. Like some of them definitely are, but then there's so many extras, I don't really know what to make of them. Just wanted to add that. But with all of that said, what do I personally think of the set overall? Well, as I said, really not a great set in my opinion because of those flimsy legs and arm pieces. Yes, they are posable, but also just really easily breakable. One other cool feature is, of course, the stand of the set, which comes with the scenery, as mentioned, and the Probe Droid has this translucent thing to make it look kind of like it's floating, which just sets in place in there. However, a weird thing about that is that there is no stud inside there to hold it in place really like steadily, so that is rather weird as well. You just place it in there without any studs. But yeah, overall decent set for display, but not great. And the head looks really nice and detailed, and the body looks pretty good too. But as I said, the rest of it isn't great, except for the stand. The stand is probably the VIP of this set. So finally, to wrap things up, if you enjoyed this video, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.